Hey guys, Dino55 here. Welcome back to another video. And sorry I've been gone for so long. Just been sick and dealing with a lot of stuff. But today we are going to be doing a 3D modeling tutorial. Some people had asked me how to make rips and stuff in models for the animatronics I make. And I just want to explain how to do it and show you guys how to do it. Just because, why not? So, what we start off with is doing a subdivision layer, modifier, I guess, and just subdividing after making a basic model. But for this example, we're just going to use this cube. So we just hit that subdivision modifier, up it up by a lot, and then we apply it and try to make rips in it, which we'll just use a freeform tool to do after we make a solidify modifier, just because making that solidify modifier makes it have some thickness to it and gives it like the suit texture, not texture but suit's outer layer. But yeah, we're gonna make a cut with this freeform tool and just make it however you want. Then you want to delete those vertices, and then with that subdivision, or not subdivision, the solidify modifier, you can change it how much you want, however thick you want the suit to be. You can also flip it to just work with how your model is going to be. And then, sorry, I'm a bit sick as well. I just want to let you guys know. But we subdivide that again, and then we can just edit it however we want. And the best way I find to do it is the sculpt mode. And you can just use the drag modifier, or not modifier, drag brush, the smoothing brush. Just really any brush that you think will give it some nice textures. And you just build it out however you want, and make sure it looks smooth, and just make the rips look real, which obviously can be difficult, but you just kind of work with it and use different tools. Like for example, I'm going to be using some different ones than I normally do, just to give you guys some examples. But you can also pull from the side to give those rips like frayed edges and bumps on the outside, just so it's not like flat as well. You can also pull it inside to make it just more 3D, three-dimensional, and like a rip. But basically, we just do that, and then we can move over to that smooth again, make those bumps a little less obvious, that kind of thing. You can also add stuff with the clay brush and the sculpting tool brush, which I'll show you in just a second. But just work with it how you want. You can use any of these pulling modifiers like that. This elastic one does give some nice rip texture, I found out. And when you're rendering it out, you're gonna have these squares and stuff, which when you're printing, it will look like that on the model, but if you shade it smooth just for your online models to show it off, it gives a smooth like texture, which is a much better look. But if you ever want to print it with that smooth texture, you just have to up those subdivisions a lot. It can cause the model to lag in Blender, just so you know as well. But we're gonna go back to this texture, or the sculpting area, try and make some more textures, and just mess around with some of the brushes. Sorry if I sound weird too, but I use this thumb brush as well to give some wrinkles on the outside as well, and give some different textures to the model. And you can also add a texture to these brushes And you would just have to, well, I'll show you guys in just a second, but you can also use this crease to make really sharp edges on those rips and just make it seem like it got pinched and ripped off. You can also use this rotating brush, which will give you some harsher angles in some areas and some less harsh angles, like you just saw there. And yeah, but next we're gonna try and get that texture brush, which you can just add that texture there. Sorry, I kind of forgot how to do this. Oh, right. We just go to the texture area, open it up, open a texture that you want to do, or even just make a new texture. I tried to open one, it didn't really work. But if you use that cloud texture, it gives you the withered model effects, like how Five Nights at Freddy's 2 looks, that kind of thing. And you can just adjust the size of the brush and make it more bumpy, that kind of thing. And, you know, just draw around, make it look like it's withered and tattered and broken. And as you can see in the rendering, it looks really nice. And I'm also going to show you guys how to actually put some textures on there, like color textures, which is a little weird to some people how I do it, which is fine, but I just unwrap the model and sorry, I'm just moving some stuff out, but I unwrap the model after going into a texture painting area and get that new texture, which we also need to add a new texture over here. Just use the cloud modifier again, then you can change the colors at the top, but it gives you that bumpy looking look, which is like within animatronics. And if you give it a lighter look, it looks like the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 animatronics, that kind of thing. You can also turn down that strength, give it a bit less clarity, I guess. But you also have to unwrap your model here. I did forget to do that. So we'll just do that real quick. Oh, that wasn't right. Let's do more of a smart UV unwrap. That normally works pretty well. Sometimes these textures can be a little weird, so just kind of use your actual model to paint on it instead of using just the color map, because that color map can also just be colored in, but it does give it some weird textures. I'll show you guys real quick after I give it some better color to have a base on. We're gonna go for like a foxy looking color, so we just paint it on there, and sometimes the textures work, but other times, like, actually it worked pretty well, but there's like some weird square texture sometimes. But painting on your model can make it look nicer too, but if you have a lot of subdivisions in that model, it can cause it to lag, as you guys can see. But yeah, that's kind of how I make rips in my models, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm about to level up, run it back, double up, make 100 grand off a show. No, it ain't enough, you know I don't give a fuck, so cry. I'ma need a buff, one hit a quitter. I'ma knock you out with the snuff. I'm about to level up, run it back, double up, make 100 grand off a show. No, it ain't enough.